Hi folks, welcome back to My World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles, and tonight it's all about the teamwork. Here's Sergeant Bersekovich and his buddy Daedalus in an E50 platoon in a Tier 9 assault game on Erlenberg. Not that many Tier 9s, aside from these two in their E50s. We just have a Jagdtiger. The majority of the team are Tier 8. But it's Tank Destroyer City over on the other side of the map. They've got two T-30s and an Object 704. And each one of those guys has a gun that does 750 average damage. So the platoon are heading over to the western flank. The majority of the team are heading over to the eastern flank. Basically all that we have over here is two E50s, a Panther 2, a Tiger 2 and a KV-5. Everybody else is heading up the northern road on the eastern flank. So 2/3 of the team went one way, 1/3 of the team went this way. And they are being a lot more aggressive on the other side of the map than we are over here. Everybody's basically sitting waiting for somebody else to go first. Now this isn't a great way to start, because if the enemy team are coming over the bridge over by the number 1 deployment point and reinforcing the other side of that hill, you're giving them all the time in the world to get into position and really get entrenched up there. Panther 2 here on the other hand, yeah, he's not hanging around to wait for that to happen. He's going forward. Daedalus is going up to back him up, and this Tiger 2 and Bersekovich sitting waiting to shoot at anything that these guys detect. Bersekovich is moving forward. Tiger 2, good accurate gun at the back there. And there's the Jagdpanther. So Tier 7 tank destroyer is the first thing we've spotted. And a Tiger. But is that all they have up there? I'd be surprised if it was. You'd expect more than that to have come over the bridge. We've just lost a Jagdtiger, however, so they're guys that... There's a bit of lemming train action going on the other side of the map, unfortunately. 2/3 of the team went that way. Now 2 of them are dead. And everybody else is just digging in and not moving forward. So what we're going to find here is that the main attack actually comes from this side of the map, with Bersekovich and Daedalus, where the weakest team strength is. Now there's only 1/3 of the team over this side, 2/3 on the other side. And they've just lost another one. SU-100M1 gone. But by a stroke of luck, the only guys that came over the bridge to defend were the 2 Tier 7s, the Tiger and the Jagdpanther. Which allows these guys, with their devastating long-range weapons, deadly accurate guns on the E50s and the Panther 2, allows them to get so far forward that they can basically spot... Well, they're looking straight into the enemy cap zone at this point. Now, it's not all beer and skittles over this side, because the one major disadvantage of these German medium tanks is their awful gun depression. Now, the Panther 2 and Daedalus are in a good spot. They're covered from the T-30, the Jagdpanther and the Tiger, and they're able to concentrate their fire on that T-29 and kill him. Bersekovich, unfortunately, because he's on the higher ground here, he can't get his gun down without exposing himself to fire from that T-30. But the Panther 2 and Daedalus have now moved forward around the corner, so now they're providing covering fire. And we're pounding the snot out of this T-30. Fortunately, of course, he can always fire back. Now this T-30 ends up being more used to his team dead than alive.
Let's go. He's gone. Find another target.
Because now he's actually blocking the bridge. I don't know if that was his intention. If it was, well, fair enough, but I can think of more useful ways to help your team in a Tier 9 tank destroyer in a Tier 9 game than sacrificing yourself as a roadblock, but that's basically what he's done. Now, if the enemy artillery had half a brain, they could really capitalise on this situation. You know, E50 and a KV5 can't elbow this guy out of the way. But that Panther 2 has a bit of a brainwave. And we just need a little bit more horsepower over here, and we can push this T30 aside. So, with a little bit of help, there we go. For the train, boom, and that's it. That's how you get it done. Bit of teamwork, fantastic. And they didn't get shot at by artillery once coming around there. So that's that Tiger nailed. And there, a medium just popped up on the map. There he is, Super Pershing. Now, our first shot blows his tracks away. And Super Pershings are incredibly well armoured from the front. But with his tracks blown off, he can't turn his frontal armour towards us. And Bersekovich is going to take full advantage of that. Oh, that's not good. He's managed to kill our driver. Okay, but we get the killing blow. Now, an E50 with a dead driver is not the fastest machine in the world, and there's a T30. We get a shot into him, but oh, he gets a big old shot into us, 728 damage, and now we only have 32 health left. We've got a dead driver and a dead engine, and just look how slow this thing is. Daedalus sweeps around, and he's trying to draw this guy's fire, and T30's not falling for it, but luckily Bersekovich is faster on the trigger than he is, so now we're both up to 4 kills. So there's a patrol duty medal at the very least for the team. And of course, all these tanks to shoot at, who does artillery go for? Yeah, the guy on 32 health. And now all they have left is an Object 704. And Daedalus takes the lead, because he can afford to take a hit from an Object 704. He gets a shot into him. He goes around, distracts him, gets the killing blow. 5 kills for Daedalus, 4 for Sergeant Bersekovich, 9 for the platoon altogether. A very, very well played game in a pair of E50s in a platoon on Erlenberg. Well done, guys. Well, next up we have, I can't even pronounce that name. I'm just going to call him Dave. Dave and his Renault UE5 platooned up with Luca in his Panzer 38T. Where's Luca? There he is. It's a Malinovka defence. And this game isn't so much about fantastic teamwork in a platoon, it's just the whole team worked together so incredibly well in this game. But another thing that I wanted to point out is, see that M22 Locust down there who's just rushing ahead of the pack. Now remember, this is only a tier 3 game. So this fella, this is such a waste. It's a tier 3 game, he's in one of our tier 3 light tanks. And yeah, he's going to get himself a scout medal, and he does do very well. You just expand the map so you can see what's going on down there. Now, he thinks he's doing a great job, but he's totally not. And yeah, he's going to detect half the enemy team, but I think 50 seconds after the game starts, where do you expect the enemy team to be? They're too far away for artillery to hit them. Any second now, he's going to be out of radio range. He's going to disappear off the map. He's going to be so far away from the rest of the friendly tanks. Nobody can shoot at any of the tanks he's detected. So great, you get yourself a scout medal, you get yourself killed, you've just robbed the team of one of their top tier tanks, and you've achieved absolutely nothing. What a waste. But anyway, let's just speed things up here a little. Well, actually, let's not. Let's have a look at the map again. Let's just expand the map size slightly. And there we go. Yeah, M22 Locust dead. Achieved nothing. What a waste of time. But look how the team have deployed. There's hardly anybody on the hill other than the tank destroyers and the artillery. Everybody else, without needing to be told, has moved down into the woods. And it's the ideal positioning. Now, Luca, unfortunately, Panzer 38T, really? Sitting on top of the hill, tier 3, relatively well armoured tier 3 light tank. He should be down in the woods there with the T15, the Lux, and the T2 medium tank, but we're going to excuse him this for the moment, because just watch how the rest of the team reacts. Now all those guys in the woods, they're exactly far enough away so that as soon as they detect somebody, the tank destroyers and artillery on the top of the hill can start pounding them. And they haven't gone too far down into the woods that the guys at the top of the hill can't support them. And this is why you have to get people down off the damn hill, and preferably into some sort of cover. The T-15 there, he's in cover behind the lumber. He's using that to absorb shots. The 35T over to the right has gotten himself into a hold down position. And what they're doing is they're detecting these guys early enough that our friendly tank destroyers and artillery can support fire, but the guys that they're detecting are too far away to be able to shoot at the big guns up on the hill. T-18, very, very strongly armoured from the front, but in order to make that strong frontal armour work, you have to turn your front towards the guns that are shooting at you. So Dave here, because I can't pronounce his name, Dave's up to 2 kills. Luca's even got a kill, although Luca really shouldn't be on top of the hill with the tank destroyers. He should be down there in the woods with everybody else. .35T heading across to the cap point to take cover in the village and give a bit of extra support. And this is what I'm talking about. Low-level games, your radio ranges are terrible. Most of the friendly team, if you look at the map, are actually down here. But they're so far away. That's why this fellow's moving over here. Because nobody can see what's going on this side of the map. So he needs to establish radio contact with the friendly tanks down here to get a better picture of what's going on. And, you know, that's what they're trying to do. Now the UE-57 isn't a bad little tank destroyer, but it does have one glaring disadvantage. It has no gun depression. None whatsoever. It probably has the worst gun depression of any vehicle in the game. I mean, it doesn't just have bad gun depression. Having bad gun depression would be an upgrade in this thing. It just has no gun depression at all. And this is why it's important that somebody goes forward, spots these guys, because now these guys are coming up in the woods, are in a position to start returning fire. And we don't know where they are. And when you're in one of these Renault UE-57s, you have to get so far forward on the edge of the hill in order to shoot down over the edge because of your lousy gun depression that anybody in those woods that gets close enough will be able to start shooting at you as soon as you spot them and are able to start returning fire at them. And this is the smallest tank in the game, with some of the worst armour. You cannot afford to be getting shot at. You only have 150 health. Now somebody's going to have to take one for the team here. Yeah, Luca, we're looking at you. Somebody needs to go down and spot those guys in those woods. And you can see on the map there, people have just moved back in a radio range, and suddenly we can start seeing what's going on down here. There's actually more of the team left alive than it appears just by looking at the map, because they're so far out of radio range we can't see them. T-18's taking a hit here. There's a Panzerjäger down there, which we've just killed. Dave here's up to 6 kills. Luca, you're going to have to go for it. We need to know what's in those woods. We can't afford. The first indication we have of enemy tanks in those woods is when they start shooting at us. That's why you need people down in those woods, intercepting them and spotting them. And here he goes. Sees what needs to be done, and he just goes and does it. There's that AMX-38. He's taking pot shots at Luca, which gives his position away and allows us to kill him. Now there's an M2 light tank in those woods down there who's playing a really good game. He kills Luca. We're up to 7 kills. And it's important to stress here that Dave here hasn't actually done anything especially clever. But the team have played intelligently and allowed him, and here comes the BT2, who swept all the way around the rear.
Punch right through their armor. Enemy vehicle knocked out.
And thanks to his hard work, Dave's up to 8 kills. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, Dave has, don't get me wrong, he's played a good game. He's got 8 kills. He's going to get more than 8. He walks away with an amazing score. But he didn't really do a lot of work to get that score. His team's efforts have put him in the position that enables him to get this kind of score. And it's because the team have played very, very well. And I'm not taking anything away from his efforts here. He's still, he's on 8 kills. And he is going to get more than 8. There's that lousy gun depression again.
We nailed them bad. Penetration.
But again,
Got him.
we're not the ones spotting these guys. It's this light tank down here, that Panzer 35T. He's the one getting the spots. He's the one who's allowing us to get these kills. And all they have left is, what is that, a Panzer II? And this is the first real action that Dave here has actually taken in the entire game. Up until now, he's literally, and there's nothing wrong with this, this is the way it's supposed to work when you're in a tank destroyer, with a screen of scouts up in front of you. This is exactly the way you're supposed to play it. But if your team aren't smart enough,
Armor is hit.
then the first time you spot an enemy tank is when he's already shooting at you, and by then it's far too late. You're going to lose. And so this was basically a victory of teamwork.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
That enabled Luca and Dave to walk away from that game with 11 kills between them. And it was all down to the team. He played a great game here, but he wasn't doing anything special. He was just shooting at the targets that his team were identifying for him. And he was doing a good job of it. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh here. He walked away from a game with 10 kills. But it was his team that allowed those 10 kills to happen by doing what needed to be done in an exceptionally good Malinovka defence here down at Tier 3. So well done to the entire team for that result, because it was genuinely just a fantastic, good team effort. Well, we've shown some examples of some particularly good teamwork. How about some of the most abysmal teamwork it's ever been my misfortune to witness? It's Dave again, in his KV-1. This is a Tier 7 game. Now, these are the kind of... A lot of you guys have sent in replays where you're the top tier tank on the team and you run up 8 kills, and that's great. That is, it's a great result. It doesn't matter what tier you are. Getting 8 kills in a game is, or whatever, however many kills you get, great result. It's more impressive, on the other hand, watching somebody who's not top tier, who's not the biggest heavy tank, getting that kind of result as well. That's not what you're going to see here, however. Watch the map. So it's a Tier 7 game, we're in a Tier 5 heavy tank. And the KV-1 is not a difficult machine to kill in a Tier 7 game. You see what's happening on the map? There's 2 heavy tanks broken through. Nobody, not one tank. Right, they've just nailed artillery. Absolutely nobody. The entire centre of the map is just totally wide open. And who's the only person who goes back to do anything about it? Yep, the slowest tank on the team. Doesn't matter how much you ping that map, mate. Nobody's interested. Still nobody's doing anything about this.
That's gotta hurt.
Other than this KV-1.
Enemy is hit.
And these two enemy KV-1s are not the only ones that have exploited this massive gap in the defences. What is that T-25 doing? Could you be any less used to the team than sitting at the back of the pack? Ah. Look at the scores. We're actually winning 7-3, but just wait, just wait. Now this Jagdpanzer 4, he starts coming back. And hey, at least tries. Dave's already nailed one of the KV-1s. But they're not the only ones that have come back. I mean, those aren't the only enemy tanks there. Now, this Jagdpanzer 4 is not in much position to go up against a KV-1. You know, he's an easy kill at this stage. And we're being capped. There's something else up there. And still, nobody is coming back. Jagdpanzer's screwed now. He doesn't get nailed by or two. I mean, we're trying to... Yeah, here he goes. He's going to get killed. Track's blowing off. It's like a beetle with his legs waving in the air. There it goes. We're still being capped. What's this T-25 doing? He's going the other way! No, you fucking moron! We're losing! We're going to lose the... Get back here! The entire team are still heading north. You are fucking losing, you retards. You are gonna... How many times have you seen this happen? God almighty, there's another one. Okay, he killed the two KV-1s. He's going to take a shot in the ass here from this ELC. Who misses? And they're still being capped, and they're still going to lose. And the entire team, they're winning 13-5, and they are going to lose because they're throwing the result of this game, the entire outcome of this game, into the hands of one of their lowest tier tanks, because not one of these fucking retards could be bothered to come back and do anything about it. And it's, you know, no pressure, it's all on your shoulders. And it's a Jagdpanzer 4 on 100%. With the 88mm gun. There he is. Duty hero. Resets the cap. Yeah, you don't need to kill him now. You've won. You've basically won the game for your team. You can get back. And there we go. Base captured. But what a bunch of fuckwits. I've never seen it. No, you see it all the time. And it's one player has the sense. And he's the slowest tank on the team. And him and a Jagdpanzer 4. They had to drive past T-25s to get back to the cap. The team left the entire centre of the map open. They left a gap in the defences so big, two KV-1s, a Jagdpanzer 4 and an ELC could drive through it, and two of them managed to drive through without even being seen. Unfortunately, most of the, in most of the games that you play where this sort of thing happens, you're winning 14-5, but you still lose because nobody goes back to reset the cap. The situation shouldn't have happened in the first place. They left the gap in the defences was big enough you could have driven a battleship through it. But luckily, all it takes is one player with the common sense and the balls to step up and realise what needs doing. And, you don't have to be in the biggest, most dangerous, fastest tank in the enemy team to go back and do what needs to be done, like he did here. That T-25. What the hell? He should have been the first one back. He's the fastest tank there. But we actually had to elbow him aside because he was going the wrong way and was actually in our way. Unbelievable. Well, I say unbelievable. Entirely believable. It happens every day. But well done. Well done to... I'll have a stab at pronouncing his name. Bladronier? I don't know. Dave. Dave in his KV-1. Rising to the occasion and just doing exactly what needed to be done. In his KV-1. In a position that he should never have been in. But saving the game for the team. A team that just did not deserve that win at all. Okay, well, here we go. Here's another platoon game. Some more fantastic teamwork between Revelator, Snark Ninja and Magic Squid in their 3-man platoon of 2 E75s in the Lorraine 40T. It's a tier 9 game, we're on Arctic. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see these 3 guys. They're going to do 15,000 damage to the enemy team. Yep, that's right, you heard that right. That's 1, 5 and 3 zeros. 15,000 damage to the enemy team between them. So straight away they head down to the corner of Fail here on Arctic. I'll just speed things up until we make first contact. It shouldn't take too long. Magic squid there. There he's already spotted and hurt, and I'm a 6. Special mention should, by the way, go to the pattern driver, Kamikaze there. He does particularly well too. But the reason I call this the corner of Fail is because of what these Muppets up ahead of us are doing. They're coming down to this corner and they're... great, you know. Their artillery can now not support them. But they're in a position where our artillery can beat the shit out of them. Now, if they were defending this corner from the top of the ramp, anybody who was coming up this back road would have to subject themselves to fire from their artillery. But what the idiots always do is they fight the corner from the bottom of the ramp, where they've got no artillery support, and it actually turns it into a fair fight. Well, except it isn't, because we have the artillery support. Keep an eye on the map. What's that AMX 5100 heavy tank going around the top corner? You're going to see him come flying past any second now. Right after we kill this 4502P. There he is. You see him? Balls of steel. Absolute balls of steel. And he gets killed. But he really throws the cat amongst the pigeons. Look at these guys all chasing after him. Just totally ignoring the 2 E75s, the Lorraine and the Super Pershing, who take the opportunity to pump a whole fusillade of shots into their flanks as they chase after one piece of crap tier 8 French heavy. So, well done to the AMX 5100 driver. It's just balls of steel. You know, what can I say? Really well done. He'd obviously expended his magazine and was going to die if he tried to retreat, so he just went for it, and it really worked. It just made these guys totally just forget what they were doing. Meanwhile, that pattern, and now they're going for it. And now look what they've got here. Oh, this is just carnage. Now they've got all the cover in the world from these wrecked idiots sitting at the bottom of this ramp. And this is where these fellas should have been at the start. So their artillery could support them. But now they're never going to kill these guys. These guys have got hard, solid cover from the wrecks of all the morons who came down at the bottom of the ramp ahead of these guys. And this is just carnage. And that pattern over on the left, he's not finished with them either. They try to retreat, the pattern's just punishing them.
Like that one went right through.
And that M103, the pattern's closing in for the kill there now. M103's seen the threat to his flank, but what's he going to do? And he turns his gun to point towards the pattern, and that just gives everybody free penetrating hits into the side of his turret. And this is game over. And the rest of the team, they don't even have to do anything now. Now we can just cap. All the other guys on the team have to do is just hold their corners against the remaining enemy tanks. Oh, there's a Panther. That's not a position you want to be in a tier 7 medium tank with this lot rumbling in towards you. I wonder if any of the enemy team are going to come back and try to defend. Magic Squid's there in the cap circle in his Lorraine. Clearly he's out of ammo, he's waiting to reload. Oh, yeah, give me your lower glacis and I will gladly put a 128mm shell through it. Thank you. Any of them coming back? Yep, looks like it. Here comes a Pershing. And is he alone? Amex 5120. Yeah, you really want to straighten out here. Don't want to be showing your side to these guns. Oh, there goes Snark Ninja. Dead on 3 kills. But, you know, we're up to 56, 57% base cap, and bye-bye, Mr. Patton. It's a real shame, because that enemy, those 2 enemy tier 9s have got 5 kills between them. They've played, you know, they've played a good game, and oh, there goes that Patton. He's not finished with them. He finishes off the 5120. The Patton played a good game too, and there you go. Base captured, 100%. Fantastic little bit of teamwork there from the guys that came around the bottom of the ramp on the corner of Fail. And that brings tonight's roundup to a close. More to come tomorrow and the day after, and probably the day after, before I can start showing you the shortlist replays. I'm getting to the stage now where I basically I opened up the latest replays that I received, so right at the end of the month, and I'm down to like the 4th of October now, so 4 days after I announced the start of the contest. Less than, I think I've got exactly 133 of your emails left to look at, but the ones that I'm opening now have all got like 8 replays in them, and it's taken an hour for every email. So I'm plugging through them, but definitely by the end of this week, some gold will have been given away in one way or another, I promise it. As always, however, you know, take care on the battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.